Welcome to Learn to Live Stress-Free. This is Christine Wright with Dr. Robert Wright Jr. of www.stressfreenow.info.
Hi, this is Dr. Bob of Stress Free Now podcast. I'm shooting today from the inside of my cabin on a cruise. I'm currently in Juneau, Alaska. And this travel tip is meant to encourage you to get out there and see the world. Now, for people who have already been bitten by the travel bug, no explanation is needed. But sometimes there are people that don't understand travel lust in terms of, so for example, I have been asked, why would you go to a country that you don't speak the language? And I remember at the time, I was puzzled by that question. Because basically I'm the type of person that needs novelty and is curious. But at that time when that question was asked, I didn't realize the extent that since I had been doing it so long, that my need for novelty is very, very high. And conversely, many other people have the need for sameness. That's very, very high. And so the type of uncertainty and unexpectancy and lack of certainty that comes when you travel may actually frighten a person that enjoys sameness. And so there's nothing wrong with enjoying the same thing. I know my wife told me, to my surprise, one time that she said that she could eat porridge every day for breakfast. And so porridge is, my wife was from Jamaica, so porridge is like oatmeal. And I just couldn't ever imagine eating the same thing every day for breakfast. I just can't. Rather not eat breakfast to mix it up. And so what I'm saying is there are different kind of people out here, there are different types of personality. And so this video may not be for you. Maybe you like sameness, okay? Or maybe you just like travel where everything is planned out in advance and the chances of anything unexpected happening is very small. But I got to tell you, in the past, that may have been possible to execute easily. But I can tell you in 2023, all bets are off. You could be home and a meteorite comes from the sky, or a spaceship lands in your backyard, or, and I'm not joking, or tornado, volcano, earthquake, hurricane, all these things, drought, all these things that used to happen once every 100 years are happening regularly. Look what just happened in Hawaii. Look what the flooding in Bangladesh and other places. Look at the places where there have been fires, like California or in Canada. And in fact, I was in Quebec City in Montreal, and I had my N95 mask ready at the ready. I bought like 5 of them, and just in case. And here's what I discovered. When I got to Canada, the air was clear. So that was unexpected, because I was thinking, oh, maybe we're not even going to stop in Quebec City because the fires are burning in Quebec. Guess where all that smoke went? It was down in New York and New Jersey. In fact, the fires burning in Quebec were so extensive at one point during the summer of 2023 in August that the smoke extended all the way west to Minneapolis, going all the way east to Massachusetts, going all the way south to North Carolina. And so when I flew back in from Lisbon, Portugal, flying into Newark Airport, I had not been looking at the news for a couple of weeks. And so as we approached Newark Airport, I saw the sky was brown orange. And I said, oh my God, look at this pollution. But I didn't know that was the smoke coming from Quebec. The jet screen had brought it down. And so this is my point. So the people that weren't traveling, they were staying home in North Carolina, in Washington, D.C., in New York, in Boston, in Minneapolis. They were having the challenges. The place where the smoke was originating, the air was clear. So all I'm saying to you in terms of planning and the chaotic nature of how things have changed is that you can no longer assume that just staying in place means that you're in safe, that you're going to be safe. And so, because we all desire to be safe. And so what I'm saying is there's enough change in terms of lack of water, air quality, other issues that even if you don't travel, you're going to experience some of those things most likely. So, of course, when you do travel, you have to worry about flights being canceled. You have to worry about traffic jams. You have to worry about exchanging money. So, for example, I felt that I had been robbed without a gun when I went to change my money in Amsterdam. And I gave the person at the airport $150 at the money exchange, and they gave me back 106 euros. So I was like, I said, but the exchange rate is whatever. And they said, yeah, that's true, but we also charge commission. And so I said to myself, I said, oh my God. I said, you're taking out of my left pocket and my right pocket simultaneously. I go, I need a business like that. Don't we all? Don't we all want to work a job and get a check and then get some bonus money on the side? So so $106 when I changed my money. And then I said, from $150. And then I asked this question. I said, let me see. Can you tell me what would be the exchange rate if I had British pounds, which are worth more than euros? Um, how much would I be getting? And they said basically about the same amount. So I was like, whoa. So these guys are seriously scalping. And here's how you can tell. When I went to London, actually I went to Wales to visit friends. So now I changed my money, and for the British pound is worth so much more than the dollar and the euro that when I changed $100 American, I only got 60 pounds. Talk about a haircut. So now, if you think about how much more the pound is worth, and the pound's worth more than the euro, that for them at the airport, they're going to give you the same amount if you had pounds in euros. They are making, they're trying to flatten you. So the thing is, I'm learning to be smarter, which is that to see if I can change my money before I go, or to not change my money in the airport, because that tends to be the highest place where they give you the serious haircut, where they just take the clippers and just go right down the middle of your head, and they take money out of your left pocket and your right pocket, and if they could, they'd take it out of your back pocket too. So the thing is, I wasn't angry. I was just startled at how you could be clipped legally by these systems when you're not you're not savvy. And so, the reason I hadn't changed money in advance is because I didn't know, how much money I was going to spend in each place. And in the past, I was always able to exchange money at a good rate. But now, some of the places, especially in the airport, they're really trying to hurt tourists. And so, what I'm saying to you is this, okay? That if you're going to travel, you need to really do your homework. And if you're going to just stay home, you need to do your homework too, because so many things are happening. Like, for example, I was in London and they have instituted all these uh, congestion pricing zones. So, for example, so you're living in London and you have a car and you go to the mall, you drive to the mall. If you stay in the mall over 3 hours, you get a ticket for $80. If you don't pay that ticket within 24 hours, then the ticket goes to some astronomical amount. And so I asked my friends from Wales, I said, what happens if you don't pay the ticket? They said, oh, no, you want to pay the ticket because if you don't pay the ticket, they come for your car. And when they take your car and they crush it. How about that? I go, at least in New York, they take your car and they sell it. In the UK, apparently they take your car and crush it. Whoa. So I don't know how long that process takes, but I don't know about you going to the mall and staying over 3 hours and getting charged $80. That sounds like highway robbery by the state. What do you think? Then I saw something at Heathrow Airport I'd never seen any place. They had this sign that says, if you drop somebody at the airport, let's say you drop your mother-in-law, you drop your cousin, you drop your wife, your husband, you take a taxi to the airport, there's a drop-off fee of £5. So £5 is like what, $7, it's almost $7. So I said, wait a minute, you're telling me I'm dropping off my wife or my kids at the airport, and the airport is charging me a fee to drop people at the airport where I'm bringing them business? Get this. Prior to COVID, when you flew into Heathrow, if you were a non-EU citizen, and you had paid VAT tax, which could be 17 or 20% on your purchases, you were able to fill out a form and get a refund of the taxes because you aren't a citizen of the EU. But because of Brexit and other things going on, that no longer applies. So now you're paying 20% tax in the UK, and now there's a hole in your pocket because they're no longer giving refunds. So I don't know about you, but I'm staying out of the UK. And I I I hope this is not going to be something that spreads all over, because this is the part of the congestion pricing mentality. They had zones. I see that the Tories just won an election in the UK because of this congestion pricing. Some people are outraged. It is an outrage. They lowered the speed limit to 20 kilometers. You get, I don't, okay, so I don't want to go into a rant, but here's what I'm saying. Even if you're staying home and you're not traveling, there are forces out here that are militating to make your life difficult or more uncomfortable, or to suck money out of your pocket, like what's going to happen in New York City. So I don't know about you, when that congestion pricing comes from New York, And I just read recently it's going to be implemented April 2024. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to stop coming into Manhattan. Just can't do it. I can no longer. This is like reaching the elastic limit. So I pay tolls coming up the New Jersey Turnpike. I pay a toll coming through the Holland Tunnel or the Lincoln Tunnel or George Washington Bridge. And then now I'm going to pay $23 just for the quote unquote privilege to come into Manhattan south of 60th Street, which happens automatically when I come on through the tunnel, and I gotta pay for parking. I don't know about you. I don't like paying $76 to park for 4 hours. And I went to an event in the Wall Street area, and that's what it cost me. $76 to park for 4 hours. Now, I have to say the workshop was free and it was worthwhile, but that is not user friendly, so to speak. Now, if you're on the expense account and your business is a company is paying for it, then there's no skin. There's nothing lost. But if it's coming out of your hide, like it came out of my hide, I'm not doing it anymore. So I don't know about you, but I am not going to pay a $23 congestion fee just for the quote unquote privilege to come into New York. I will find something else to do. And that, I think, New York City is going to find out that there are going to be a lot of people that are just not going to do it anymore, not going to come. And so you already, this is the kind of thing trying to force people to come back into the office, etc. So you're going to have to pay parking, tolls, the commute time, and now plus an extra $23. So let's see, 5 days a week times 23. So five times that, that's $115 net that you weren't paying before, right? Every week. That's insanity. That's what I think about it. So this is Dr. Bob telling you, get out there and travel, because even if you stay in one place, we're living at a time when it's shifting sands, and you can't count on things staying the same. So why not go have some fun? Pick up the phone, call that relative or friend you haven't talked to in 10 years. Go do something that you wanted to do at a distance for many, many years. That dream that you put off. Doesn't matter if it's domestic or international. Get it done. Why? Because whether you realize it or not, we all have an unknown expiration date. So why not enjoy the party while you can? So if you like what you hear, hit that like button and subscribe to Stress Free Now podcast. Until next time, reminding you to do what you already know, which is to take better care of yourself, knowing that self-care isn't selfish, it's smart. This is Dr. Bob. Until next time, wishing you well, be safe, and be well.